For NYUpInSyracuse.com, I am Matt Parrino, and yes, it is snowing. Very happy snowflakes here in Pittsburgh, for Buffalo Bills fans anyway, after the Buffalo Bills won 17-10 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first time a Bills team has won a regular season game in this city since 1975, 45 years, and the win, the 17-10 victory, sends the Bills to the playoffs. First 10-win season since 1999. A lot of history is going on here, and I'm still here in the stadium. We're moving closer and closer to 2 a.m. A lot of joy, excitement in the Bills locker room. The Bills come on the road, tough environment. Pittsburgh Steelers fighting and clawing to try to get to the playoffs, just like the Bills are, and the Bills were able to make more plays in this game. There's a few to talk about, but we have to start, I think, with a guy that really changed the complexion of this game early on, Tre'Davious White. 2 interceptions today. He almost had a third for the Bills, who ended up with 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions, 1 fumble. They actually forced 4 fumbles, but they only were lucky enough to recover 1 of them. But Tre'Davious White was just outstanding. Lockdown defender. And Devlin Hodges, the undrafted free agent quarterback that the Pittsburgh Steelers signed. He's in his 4th start. He likes to take some chances, put some balls out there. Unfortunately, Tre'Davious White is a guy that you do not want to do that against. He showed that today. I think it's fitting. He's kind of been going back and forth with Stephon Gilmore all year in terms of who is the elite of the elite. They both now lead the NFL with 6 interceptions on the season. And guys, this is a guy that, you know, it's symbolic in a lot of ways. He was the guy that Sean McDermott came in here, was his first draft pick before Brandon Beane got to town, and really set the foundation for what they were trying to build here. And he does it in more ways than one. You talk to everybody in that locker room about Tre'Davious White, and where they start is his work ethic, the time he puts into working on his craft, watching film, you know, trying to be a guy that beats out everybody else because of how hard he works. And you saw out here today in front of a national audience, he really popped in a big way, made some huge plays, and when the Bills needed it. This offense was struggling. Josh Allen made enough plays on offense to win the game, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. But this defense was just outstanding, and I think that it has to be really discussed at the start, because we spend so much time talking about Josh Allen, and rightfully so. The quarterback is a guy that gets all the headlines, but this defense was really good. Mike Tomlin, in his postgame press conference, called them a rough and rowdy outfit. And they really are. I mean, they really are a team that, you know, sets the tone for this team, and a big reason why the Bills are going to the playoffs. On the offensive side of the ball, a couple of good things, a couple of concerning things. Josh Allen, what was his day like? A rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, enough to win the game on the road against a tough defense. And I thought that going into the game, that was what he was going to have to do. Manage the game a little bit. Don't put yourself in a situation to make mistakes where you then put the pressure on the defense to have to, you know, come up and save you time and time again. What this defense did today too that helped out was force some turnovers, which gave Josh Allen a few short fields, took some pressure off of him. But I thought Josh Allen made the plays when he needed it. He was in the red zone in the first half, ran in the touchdown in the second half, down the stretch, made a huge touchdown throw to Tyler Kroft, which sealed the game, 17-10. You have to feel good for Tyler Kroft, the guy that's been working his tail off to get back from 2 injuries. Gets back. It's been real slow going for him. Sharing time with the rookie Dawson Knox, who's had his moments of really strong play this season. But Tyler Kroft makes a good play, and you feel good for guys like that, and for you know, a lot of guys in this locker room that, you know, are castaways or afterthoughts. We've talked about this over and over again as Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott have built this thing. This is something that, you know, they've done a good job of bringing the right caliber people into the mix here. And now you're at 10-4 with a team that is constructed to go on the road, win tough games. They've done it over and over again. Tennessee, Dallas, now in Pittsburgh. You know, the tough places to play. These are rosters that have a ton of talent. So I think the Bills have gone out there, established themselves as a contender, and now you're looking at a first-round matchup with potentially Houston, who has some trouble on the defensive side of the ball. You may be able to go on the road in Houston, Josh Allen and company, score some points. And with this defense, you're in every game. 2 sacks for Jordan Phillips today, a sack and a strip sack for Shaq Lawson. I mean, this defense is really coming into its own. Even Levi Wallace, who had a couple bad plays early on, sealed the game with an interception down the stretch as Duck Hodges was trying to drive this team down the field. But I asked Brandon Beane after the game today. He gave about an 8-minute media scrum. And you go to nyupsyracuse.com now and check out that in the entire transcript of that, along with a little story. And I asked him, are things ahead of schedule? And he said, listen, people are picking us to win 5, 6, 7 games going into the season. Sean and Brandon never put a win total on where this needed to be this season. But what he wanted to do was go into each week, win every game that they can win every practice, be the best that they can be, and at that point it will give them a chance to make the playoffs. They are now here, 10-4 with 2 to go, but he did emphasize there's a game next week against the New England Patriots on Saturday at 4:30 in Foxborough, Massachusetts, that this team desperately wants to win. But I think overall, where we're sitting right now, looking at this football team, the important thing to notice, and what feels a little bit different about this iteration of the Buffalo Bills than maybe years past, disappointments of years past, is that they've showed up and played big in the big spots. Even last week against Lamar Jackson, who's been tearing through the league, this defense showed up and really put forth maybe the best effort any defense has all season. They go on the road and beat the Dallas Cowboys. They go on the road and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. These are big on national TV, primetime, Thanksgiving Day, the primetime slot. 27 years, the most watched CBS game in 27 years, the Bills versus the Dallas Cowboys. All eyes on them, Sunday Night Football, first time since 2007. The Bills get the job done. So there's a lot to be excited about, and there is going to be a whole lot to cover in the next month as we move one step closer to the second playoff game now in 3 years is on the way. Enjoy that, Bills fans. And for all your Buffalo Bills content, as always, keep it locked on the nyupsyracuse.com. It is snowing, but I'm enjoying it. This is football weather. This is December weather, East Coast weather. It's been fun, and I'll see you next week.